In this video, we will use the Z-Shot Blender add-on to render height, a thread mask, and ambient occlusion from our three-dimensional stitches. Afterwards, we will combine these three grayscale masks into a channel-packed trim texture. In case you are wondering how this could become a seamlessly tileable trim, the map that we are creating is meant to be used with the TrimFlow add-on, which is able to utilize trims that are not just tileable in the 0 to 1 UV range, but in pretty much any range, with head and tail sections at the ends. Don't worry if you don't use TrimFlow, Z-Shot can be used for any kind of trim. The first thing that we need to do is to adjust the canvas that defines the render area and aspect ratio of the final texture. Z-Shot can do this automatically based on the rendered object's dimensions, but when creating tileable trim textures, it is useful to do this manually to make sure that the resulting image is actually tileable as intended. All it needs is another mesh object, such as a plane. I already got this one here, which I used as reference when I modeled the stitches. Once put in place, Z-Shot will use its dimensions as canvas. You can hide it if you want. Now that this is done, let's first render the height map. Rendering height requires a selected active object. The origin of this object will then be used as midpoint, so make sure that the origin is at the right Z position. And here's the height map. Let's render the thread mask next. This means we need a map on which the threads are white and everything else is black. There are several ways to achieve this. For this example, we will simply use the material's metallic value. So let's set metallic in the thread's material to 1 and make sure that the leather material's metallic is 0. The render mode is obviously going to be BSDF metallic. And that's it. We could also have used vertex color or any other BSDF render mode to get the same result. It doesn't really matter for this kind of thing. Last but not least, ambient occlusion. Here we can set the renderer to cycles for more precision. And done. Now let's put our masks into a single channel packed RGB mask. I'd like to put height into the red channel, the thread mask goes into green, and ambient occlusion goes into the blue channel. Bam, easy as that. Our channel packed trim texture is finished and ready to use.